Create a table in SQL. What you see on the screen is the terminal of MySQL. As we have already learned, MySQL is a query language used for RDBMS. We can create tables, insert values, and execute simple queries. So the first step towards learning MySQL is to create a table. In order to create a table, we should have a database. A database is nothing but a collection of tables. So here I'm going to create a database called school, in which I'm going to create a table called student. So in order to create the database, the command is create database followed by the name of the database. So we have decided the name of the database would be school. So SCHOOL. Every command should end with a semicolon. The output that it shows query OK, one row affected means that your database is created. In order to check whether the database is created or not, we have to display the available databases. And the query to display the available databases is show databases. And then a semicolon, enter, would display all the existing databases in MySQL. And here you can see the database that we created just now, school, is existing. Now we have to go into that particular database and then start creating a table. So in order to enter into that particular database or use the database, the command is use followed by the name of the database. And in our case, the name of the database is school. So use school and then semicolon. Let me quickly revise. The first step towards creating a table would be to create a database. And the command is create database followed by the name of the database. Name of the database is your choice. After this command, if it shows query OK, then the database is created successfully. In order to check whether the database is created or not, the next query that we have executed is show databases. Show databases would display all the existing databases in this MySQL. And here you can see the database that you have created is also displayed. Now the database is ready. So we have to use this database or go into this particular database and then start creating our table. So in order to move into this particular database, the command is use school. The moment you give use school, it will show the message database is changed, which means now currently you are inside the database and you can start creating tables now. Now I have decided that I'll be creating a table student. The format of the table I have already given in your Google Classroom. So check the format, children. So to create a table, we are going to have 4 columns: admission number, name of the student, standard, and section number. So how do we start? The query to create a database is create a table is create table followed by the name of the table. And now we have decided we'll have the name of the table as student. So create table student and then round bracket. Now you can see here only this arrow mark appears, which means that the query is still continuing. Now the first column is admission number. Before you start designing, you have to decide what type of data it should hold. Admission number is generally only a number, which means that it is an integer. So let us name the column as ADMNO followed by the data type, and here the data type is integer. Integer means it has only numbers. In a school, no 2 students will have the same admission number. So I want this particular admission number to be unique. So here unique is a constraint. The meaning of constraint is you are putting conditions on particular columns. Columns are also called as attributes in SQL. So I am putting a condition saying that admission number must be unique, which means no two students should have the same admission number. Now the second column would be name. Name, we know all the names are not of the same length. Names, the size of the names vary from student to student. So we can take the data type as varchar. We have already discussed all these data types, children. So if you have a doubt, go and revise back again. Varchar is variable character, but then you have to mention what would be the maximum allowed limit. I'm going to tell varchar of maximum a name could be only 15 characters. So I'm giving 15. And every student is going to have a name. It might not be unique. There may be two students with the same name. So the condition that I'm going to give for name is, I don't want this name to remain empty. It must have some value. So I'll give the constraint as not null, which means I'm giving a condition that name column at any case must have some value. Then the next one is standard. So let me give the short form STD. And I know the standard is going to be around 4 characters. It differs. So let me give it as varchar itself, varchar of 3. Again, this also I don't want it to be empty. So I'll give not null. This is a constraint. And the last column would be section. And I know section is only a single character. So here I can specify char of 1. And with this, our table creation is over. Now you would have noticed after create table opening round bracket, we have entered all the columns. So this round bracket must be ended at the last. So I am closing the round bracket, and as I have already told you, every query should end with a semicolon. So I am giving a semicolon and then enter. Again, I've got a positive result. It says query OK, 0 rows affected, which means the table is created. Table means the structure of the table is available, but still the table is empty, which means we have to add the values. Now I want to see whether the table is created or not. So I can see the description of the table. That the next step is to see the description of the table. The name of the table was student. The first thing that we have to do is we have to first use the database, and followed by that we have to go to the table. So I have to give DESC student semicolon. Now it will tell you or show you the description of the table. Now you remember we had given 4 fields, that is 4 columns: admission number, which was an integer; name, which is a character type; standard, which is also a character type of 3; and section, which is a character of 1. And this also gives you the constraints that you have given. So for admission number, we told it must be unique, and for name and standard, we told that it must not be null. So these are the constraints we have given. So now we have the empty data structure with us, table structure with us, which is a student. The next step would be to insert the values into student. Children, I would like to remind you once again, since we are in virtual mode, it is important that you take notes of each and every command that I am teaching you. At the end of the day, by 4 o'clock, write everything, take a picture of whatever you have written, and post it in Google Classroom. I am creating an assignment for everyday classwork. I would correct your classwork virtually and return back to you. And finally, when we come back to the physical classroom, I will correct your classwork physically. So I want your utmost attention, children. Now let us go to the next step of inserting the values into the table. And the syntax for inserting values is insert into followed by the name of the table. And in our case, the name of the table is student. Student. And then values. Now I repeat again, insert, into, values, all are keywords. And you are not supposed to make any mistakes in these words. And of course, student is the name of the table. Whatever name you have given to the table, you can give as it is. After values, open a round bracket and supply all the values that has to come. So the first one would be admission number, and we told it is an integer. So let me give the admission as number as 1101, comma. The second one is a name, which is a character type variable, and character type variable must be enclosed in quotes. So I have to give name of the student. So let me take Akash as the name of the student. So close it with double quotes again, comma. So second column is also over. The third column is standard. So standard is again, it is a character variable. So double quotes, 12 standard, comma. And the last one is section. So let me give the section as A. Now I have filled all the 4 columns. So close the column and then give a semicolon. Enter, it will show one row affected, which means this particular values that we have mentioned in the insert are inserted in the table student. Now you would like to see the student to check whether the values are inserted. And for that, the command is select command. The syntax of select command is select followed by the column names that you want to be displayed. Now you can, if you want only admission number, you can specify admission number. If you want admission number name, specify admission number, comma, name. Now in this case, at present, I want to see all the columns. To see all the columns, just give a star. Star stands for all columns of the row. From, what is the name of the table? Student. From student. So what is the command, children? Select star from student. The meaning is select is display all the columns from the table student. Now give enter. It will show you the row that you have inserted now. This is the heading. This is the column heading that you have mentioned when you created the table. And this is the values that you have inserted now. So we have created a database, we have created a table, we have seen the structure of the table, we have inserted the values. Let us insert one more. Now if you want to insert one more, you need not keep on typing again and again, children. You can use up arrow, which is a shortcut, immediate keys. So you can go, it will show you the previous commands that you have typed. You can erase that content and then type again. So I'm going to give 1102, the second person. Let me give the name as, say, Arun. Okay, comma. Standard is 12 standard, comma, and the section is B. And then semicolon. What is expected? As we saw earlier, we will have query OK, one row affected. If that is right, then your query is right. Again, I want to see whether this is inserted or not. As I told you again, children, don't keep on typing the entire command. Just use up arrow key and choose the command that is going to give you the content. So select star from student, and now you can see your second row is also inserted. Okay, children. So like this, you have to give insert commands to insert the values for the student. But then, if you remember, we had given that admission number must be unique. Do you remember, children, when we created the table, we told admission number must be unique. So what we will do, let us do a checking part. Let us try to insert a row with the same admission number what is already existing. So we already have 111, right? So I will try to enter one more 111, and then, okay, let me change the name also. Okay, I'll change the name as Vimal, and then standard 11, section B. and then give enter, it will tell you an error, duplicate entry 1101 for the key ADMNO, which means it is restricting you to enter duplicate values. That is the purpose of giving the constraint unique. So this gives lot of liberty, children. When we are creating the table itself, a well planned and table with good constraints will actually block errors during the entry of the table itself. So that will be very useful for us to maintain correct data. So one constraints we have checked, that is unique constraint we have checked. Let us assume, children, that say I don't want to enter values into all the columns. I want to enter values only into few columns. I have a new admission student who's in 12th standard, but I have not yet decided what section. So I'm going to give an insert command. So I didn't type the entire thing again. I just press up arrow key. So 113 Vimal, and then I have not decided the section, so I will not give the section. And then I give entry. Now look at the error that it shows. It shows column count does not match value count, which means there are 4 columns in this table, but you have given only 3 columns. That is what it says. Now I am forced to give the 4th column, but I don't want to give. In that case, what you can do is, in insert command, next to the name of the table, you have to mention what columns values has to be filled. Now in this case, what columns? It is admission number, name and standard. So I can tell ADMNO, comma, name, comma, STD, which means earlier when I did not specify anything, it assumed that all columns are going to be filled. Now I am telling only 3 columns I am going to fill up. So these 3 values will be filled up in these 3 columns. Again, children, there is nothing like you cannot skip column in between. You can skip column in between also. You have to just mention the column names for which the appropriate values has to be filled. So let me give an enter here. Now it shows one row affected, which means that it has inserted value 113 with Vimal and 11th standard. Then what will be there in section? Let us see, select command. Now see here, what is there in section? It has put null. Since I didn't specify anything for section, it has put the value null. Now I cannot do this for name and standard, because for name and standard I have given a constraint not null, which means I told this field cannot be null. So you can see the demo also. See, I'll give insert into student. Okay, just use up arrow, down arrow key, children, to go to the command that you want. So this is the command for which I can make the changes. Now I don't want a name. Let us take for example, I want to skip the name, but I will give the standard and I will give the section. So let me give admission number, standard and the section. Okay. So what does it show, children? Field name doesn't have a default value, which says I cannot put null in this because you have told it cannot be null. If it is not a null, I should have told sir that you put some value in this, some default value I should have specified. I have not specified during the construction of the table. So it will not insert into the table. So these are the ways in which you can insert values into the table. So we have completed creation of a database, creation of a table, insertion of values into the table, and then how to check the content of the table. And how to look at the contents of the table. So select star from student will display the content of the table. Now let us see the various options that are available in select command. As I told you, select star will show all the columns of the table. If you feel that, okay, I don't want all the columns, I want only admission number and name, then you can tell select ADMNO, comma, name. You can specify the columns which has to be displayed from student. So it will show only the columns that you have mentioned. So I repeat again, star would display all the columns. If you mention the column name, only those columns will be displayed. Internally, the table will have all the columns, but since you have given only two columns, only the two columns will be displayed. Now, you may feel that you want, during creation of a table, you forgot one column. Okay, I should have had a phone number. Now, how will I add? Which means you're going to change the structure of the table itself. Originally, as of now, your table is having only 4 columns. You want one more column to be added, which means you're altering the structure of the table. And the command for that is alter table. So look at the command alter table followed by the name of the table. And in our case, the name of the table is student. And what are we trying to do now? We are trying to add a column. So we have to tell add. The name of the column I want is phone number. So let me give PHNO. And what is going to be the data type? I can give it as character of 11 because I know they're not going to do any mathematical operations with that number. The phone number is just a number, that's all. It is not a integer in its whole sense. So we normally will save it only as a character. And then give a semicolon. It will tell no duplicates, 0 row affected. Rows are not affected. No, you are entering only, you have only inserted a column. Now you want to check whether this particular column is inserted or not. Go back to the command of describe, DESC, which will tell you the description of the table. So DESC followed by the name of the table, DESC student. Now you can see you have got one extra column, phone number. But then what will be in phone number? We have not added any values in phone number, no. So let us put a selector. So select star from student. Now see here what it has done. It doesn't know what to put, so it has inserted a column phone number and it has put null values in phone number. Okay. Now I want to put the phone number for Akash. What I should do, which means you are changing the existing content of the table. Content of the table. For that, you have to use the command update. Update. Which table you want to update? Student. Update student. Set PHNO is equal to whatever number you want to give, you can give. So let me give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 0. Okay. But if you do this, there is a danger, children. It will put the same phone number for all the 3 people. I don't want this phone number for all the 3 students. I want this phone number only for Akash. So I have to tell where, this is the condition, where name is equal to Akash. So I am telling update phone number only for Akash, not for others. I repeat again, if you don't mention this for, all the phone numbers will have the same phone number. Now it will tell row matched 1, which means it has affected only one row and the phone number has changed. Of course, you would like to see whether the phone number is changed or not. So again give select star from student. So now you can see the phone number of Akash is changed because of update command, since you have updated the phone number. So update command is used to change the content of the table. Alter table command is used to change the structure of the table.